Hello, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for joining me again. Here comes skeleton, right down skeleton lane. He's got some bones for the girls and boys afraid of him again. He's in your closet underneath your bed, he's already inside of you. Mr. Skeleton chatters his teeth, goes a toodly-too. Hello. So, since we're kind of like, this whole idea, this little journey that I'm on here to try and make some political hay and maybe make a little positive change in the world has got me thinking. And I have an idea that I want to run by you guys. Now, once again, read the title. This is an idea that I have, and I want to kind of run through my thinking behind this idea. So I'm going to give people a couple more minutes to get in here, and then we're going to talk about the idea. This is not necessarily a idea. This is just, like this new tactic has had me thinking about a lot of different ways that we, as a small community of people, can make an impact together to show people that even in a small group of people, you can make an impact. So I have an idea that I think will be feasible. Now, once again, like I said in the thing, no promises. I have to clear this through my accountant and everything, but I want to talk to you guys about a possible tactic that we could use to sow a little change around the country and take a little direct action and turn all of our talking about this stuff into something good, right? Beyond just talking, which is all good in and of its own right. I'm not trying to downplay talking. So, one of the things that bothers me, I'm just going to start, and people that join are going to have to fucking rewind, okay? Because I see no reason. Well, hold on. Maybe I'll wait for this train that's coming to go by. That'll give some people. Sounds like there's a train coming, so let's give that a chance to go by, and then I'll start this, and that'll give people some time to trickle in. Like I said, this idea is nascent, but I'm willing to do it, so long as it can be done on the up and up and everything's cool with it. Like, I gotta run it by, whatever. Here comes the choo-choo. Got out of a depression nap for this, huh? Okay, cool. So, one of the things that bothers me about this whole kind of thing that we're hung up on, right? This electoralism, this lesser of two evilism thing, is that I've heard for several cycles now the idea that, look, voting is pretty unimportant. You've heard Vosh say things like this. Voting itself, pretty unimportant. It's the direct action that really counts, right? Now, I don't know every little move that every lefty makes, but here's something that I'll tell you the truth about. I don't see a whole lot of direct action happening. Now, there's some, I heard about Destiny canvassing in Georgia. That's a pretty big deal. That's pretty cool of him to throw his money at that. And, by all standards, he probably was successful in that. I don't know, successful in his goals for flipping Georgia, but, successful in helping Georgia be flipped. Now, I don't have that kind of reach. I don't make that kind of money. But I will tell you guys that the money that I make here from your kind super chats and donations is discretionary income for me. And typically what I do with it is save it, right? I keep it. If it didn't come to me every month, it wouldn't be like I was losing money, because I really don't treat it that way. I don't treat it. It's income that I have that's there if I need it, right? Well, it's not the only way that I can save money. I live below my means. And so it's not that I don't need it, it's that it might be something that we can think about making useful in the real world by affecting some real change with these streams, no matter what we're talking about. Now, I'm not saying starting now, but this is the idea. The idea is to go out into, especially like the lefty kind of bread tube sphere, and say, let's take some direct action. Because I'm willing to go on the record and talk about some shit. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly how much motherfucking money I make and shit, but I'm willing to tell you something. If I make the amount of money that I do on the size of show that I have, some of these big lefties are making a fuck ton of money. A capital F fuck ton of money. Okay? And they're talking a fuck ton of shit about direct action. So I'm thinking that if we're willing to tie this little idea that I have to the no confidence movement, an idea that like I, as a lefty, streamer, am going to give my discretionary income from all super chats for a year to a different mutual aid organization or vetted charity every month, voted on by the very people that made those donations. So in effect, I would be making a promise to all of you and backing it up with documentation every month, giving you a screenshot of my revenue or whatever, cutting out personal information. I can do that. I can track my super chat and YouTube red, which I'll throw in the pot for good measure. And I'll give you guys documentation, right? So that you know that I'm not just grifting, I'm not sitting on it, right? So I will show you my super chat revenue for the month. Hey guys, this month we raised this much money. It's going to this charity that we all agreed on, or this mutual aid org that we all agreed on. Here's the receipt for that. Tag them on Twitter, you know what I mean? And show our props, right? Give our props to those organizations that we all vet together, right? Now, here's the question that I have, and these are questions that I once I said, I have to fucking run this by an accountant, okay? Because I don't want it to be like there are rules for running a charity and shit, right? And so I don't want it to be like I'm funneling charitable donations through me for a tax break or whatever the fuck. So I don't even know if this is feasible, which is why I put in the title of this an idea, blah, 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 right? Now, if I make the choice to spend my discretionary income, right, and I don't understand what the rules are, right? It seems to me that I should be able to make the choice to spend the money that you guys give me here in any way I want, or not spend it, right? And so it seems to me like if I wanted to take that every month and we all vet some charities together every month, we make a big deal out of it. We do a stream where we discuss some different charities together and we decide on which one this month we want to do, maybe via donations and stuff, right? and then we decide that, and then at the end of the month, well, and seeing I'll have to be candid with you guys about how these payouts work and shit, because I don't get my super chat money from last month at the beginning of this month. I get 2 months ago or 3 months ago, right? So we'll have to line it out. I can't start it right away, because I wouldn't, a lot of people have donated to me in the interim, and I won't get that money for like a couple of months or a month or so, probably. And I wouldn't want that, to put that money towards something that they didn't know they were donating towards, or make it part of this. And I gotta have time to get on the schedule and figure out how to explain to you guys when this money comes in and how much is from what month. But I'm thinking of doing like a year of it, like committing to a year of it, right? So whatever I make via these streams alone, right? These Highdeology streams that I run, where I get the super chats, all that money goes to me, right? And so it's my discretionary income, right? And so I'm going to make the choice to involve you guys in that, and be open and honest about what I'm doing and put it out there in the social media. And I'm going to encourage other lefties in the space to do the exact same, because I know, once again, not to name names, but if I'm making the amount of money that I'm making, and once again, if I was rich, I'd fucking tell you guys. I'm not rich, but I'm doing okay, right? And if I'm doing okay at the level I'm at, there's some people that are filthy fuck rich on this platform. So let's get together and do this. So what do you guys think about this? Like, once again, read the fucking title of this. I can't make any promises. There might be some fucking thing about this that makes this not okay. Like, I've never run something like this. You know what I mean? There might be a better way of setting this up, or a way to set it up, so that I don't have to, you guys don't have to rely on my fucking proof every month that it went where it went, like screenshots and shit. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a way to better track this. But I would be willing to make that sacrifice of monthly income to do some mutually beneficial aid that will actually make some change in people's lives on the ground. Like a Ponzi scheme? Yeah, like a Ponzi scheme, but with no actual benefit to anything but a fucking mutual aid org, right? Certifiable, good idea. You think so? All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not going to be taking, like, skimming any off the top or anything. But, there may be a way for me to have you guys send donations that aren't through Super Chat that would be directly beneficial to the mutual aid org. And I could set up these campaigns where you can, you don't have to take my word for it or whatever. But, I'm pretty sure I could provide documentation, and reach out to these organizations on social media and probably get, confirmation from them that the donation was made publicly or whatever. I really don't want to open up a bee's nest of me being accused of being a thief or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't want anybody feeling like I'm like fucking grifting or whatever, and pretending like I'm giving all this money every month, but I'm not. Like, I want it to the best of my ability without giving you guys my bank account information and shit. I want you guys to be able to see, here's what we made for the month of June. Here's the mutual aid org we decided to give money to that month. Here's my donation receipt from that. Here's the, a screen cap of the email from the donation receipt. Here's me tweeting at that organization's official Twitter, you know what I mean, or whatever the fuck, letting them know that they were selected this month and I've just made the donation, blah, 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 right? Like, what else can you do at that point, short of giving people, but there might be a better way to do this. So, like, this is just like a nascent idea. Absolutely, Paul, got my support on it. Here's money because I'm going to spread this to my friends and family. Cool beans. Well, thank you. Get a receipt and put it in a public Google Drive folder or something like that. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, I would definitely want to be on the up and up. I don't want to get involved in this and have it be like a source of drama, and I really want to give nobody any fucking ammunition against me to even imply that I'm doing anything untoward with this money. Like, if I'm promising I'm going to do X with this money, I'm going to do it, and I don't want anybody to be able to undermine that. You know what I mean? I don't want any, like, if they want to undermine what charities I pick or undermine me fucking doing it, then they can attack the action directly. But I don't want to leave any kind of fucking ambiguity for the people that are actually donating to this, that I'm doing what I promised to do in good faith. So, you know what I mean? I'm not exactly sure the particulars of it yet, but I'd like to commit to doing like a whole year. So, like June to June, maybe something like that, if that could be worked out. Um, Once again, I'd have to come through the particulars of how that money flows through the AdSense account and gets paid out to me and all that shit. Because, like I said, it doesn't come directly to me. It takes a couple of months for me to get this, but it is trackable that I'm getting the payment from this month. This is this month's payment coming in on this month. I'll have to figure out all the particulars of it and get my calipers and calipers straight and get a fucking calendar up that people can see, so they know kind of like, oh, fuck yeah. And I'm going to ask you guys to help me do the same thing. I am going to, like, not to beat my chest or crow or make a big deal out of this, but I'm really going to try and exert some kind of like forceful fucking pressure upon other people that are in this fucking sphere to take some of that discretionary income and put their money where their fucking mouths are. Literally, we can call it put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? I like it. I'd like to see more leftists walk the walk on working outside the system. Absolutely. And once again, you know, of course, the only rule that I would put in this hard and fast is like no DNC affiliated candidacies will be donated to. These are all going to be nonpartisan, you know, vetted charitable organizations or mutual aid organizations, right? So we'll pick a different one every month. And or maybe we'll just pick one big overarching one and we'll give to it every month or whatever, however you guys, you know, think it would be better. I think it'd be cool to reach around and kind of spread the money to some different organizations and make some differences a little in, you know, all over the world. You know, little differences. You know, it's not gonna be tons and tons of money, but it's something. You can do fundraisers in the monetization page. Interesting. I'll have to look into YouTube's back end, and I know the guys probably know more about this, so that might be something I'll do too. See, I don't know if it'll allow me to run a fucking fundraiser every show, though. You know what I mean? But if that's the case, that would definitely allow people a way to see that, you know, I'm not fucking pocketing this money or whatever the fuck. YouTube is going to take a cut. Pretty much any payer is going to take some kind of a cut for this. So, well, I mean, I can reach out to Vosh in various ways. For me, this is more about it's two things, really. It really is two things. This is about making some real change together as a group of people that agree with me or not, helped me formulate the ideas that I put out there in the world. Believe it or not, through all the trolling and all the bullshit, the arguments, and me sitting here chewing on my own psyche in front of you guys led to this idea. And so you have a stake in it, whether you agree with me or not. And so involving you seems only natural. You know, maybe not, you know, giving you full captain of the ship, but you can not donate or donate at your leisure, you know what I mean? And but giving you some little say and some fucking documentation that this money's going where I'm saying it's going. That to me seems like it can make a little bit of positive change in people's lives for real. Right? For real. Like in real life. And we could all join ourselves in doing that, and we could all be very vociferous about, hey, this is money that maybe I normally would have given to a political candidate for the DNC, and I'm not going to give that this month. You know what I mean? I'm not going to use my discretionary donation income for any kind of fucking DNC candidacy. I choose to give to this, and I gave, you know, this much money. You can keep track of how many super chats you give me over the course of a month, and that's your donation. You know what I mean? After YouTube's cut and shit. See, that's the. I just want to make sure this is all on the fucking up and up so that people understand. You know what I mean? I really don't want to invite the drama and bullshit and undermining. Like, I don't want that to be something. If somebody wants to attack this action, I want them to attack it directly. And then I want them to watch me every month, giving money that is given freely to me by the people that watch me, that I could very easily stick in my pocket or go buy things with, to mutual aid organizations, trying to make actual change out there in the world, and then asking constantly, nicely, but if I make, what I make, why can't people that are 10 times the size of me do the same thing that I'm doing? You donate to the DNC? What? Huh? I just said non-DNC affiliated nonprofits. Like, and I'm not doing the whole, like, you can't be rich and be advocating for socialism meme. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like I told you, the money that I make from this is not making my nut every month. It's discretionary income for me, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't put it up on the slab here. But, if I've got that much discretionary income every month, how much do these people have? GoFundMe's, yeah. Just choosing a different one every month, and then what would I do? Like, instead of taking super chats, or set it up in the back end of YouTube to have my super chats go to a different GoFundMe every month? Is that, and do a month-long campaign? So I don't know how that works. I want to be as transparent as possible if this is something that's even feasible. But I don't want to be like a go-between for charities. I want this to be a discretionary donation of mine to a charity decided mutually upon and fundraised by you because you believe in what we're doing. So I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to be the best about this, but it's just an idea that I'm kicking around like a can in my head as to a way that I can transparently make tangible hay with what I'm doing here streaming, right? Can you start by donating your cut of the legal defense fund, Eyes? Dude, you understand that I had no ownership stake in that show? If you think that whatever happened to the legal defense fund money at the end of the day, if you think I got a fucking penny from it, you've got another thing coming, bro. I was a fucking contracted employee. I made what I made. I didn't get bonuses and shit. So I don't know what happened to that fucking money. I wasn't involved in the financial decision making of that fucking podcast, but don't put that shit on me. Seems like that would be the easiest, fastest method to show how much money you made. And see, I don't know if you can do it that way, though. I don't know how GoFundMe's work. Like, wouldn't I have to do, because, like, I want to do it all month. Like, I want to be able to have you guys donate because some people can't make it to every one of these. And so maybe it's just something I have to do, like, personally. Instead of doing it Instead of treating it like a fundraiser, I disinvolve you guys and just start being honest about it and just put it out there. So this month I made this amount from Super Chats. Show screenshot of my fucking AdSense account with the relevant information blurred out. So, whatever. So I don't dox myself or whatever. So here's June's revenue from Super Chat donations on my Highdeology channel. And here's a link to a Google document that holds all the receipts for the donations we've made so far. And the latest document there you'll see is a receipt for a donation of the same amount of money, right? So like, it's not like you guys look, you guys donate to me, right? But you don't get to tell me what I do with the fucking money. So I just make it a personal fucking choice, right? I don't make it like a big donation drive or whatever. You guys donate to me anyway. You're doing it tonight, right? So the idea, Ryan, to catch you up, and it's probably smart, usually I don't do this, but it's probably kind of good to like try and make it succinct. I am talking about possibly, after I talk it through with the relevant fucking people and shit, mainly just my accountant to make sure that I'm not going to get in any trouble for doing what I'm doing. But I plan to take the discretionary income that I get from Super Chats from this channel, which is my personal channel, and give all of it every month once the money comes in to a different charitable organization that I choose and vet, and let people know ahead of time, like, hey, I made the donation this month to this organization, and next month I'll be making it to this organization. Thanks a lot for your donations, and thanks for continuing to support Highdeology. You know what I mean? So that you guys aren't involved. It's not like I'm trying to run a fundraiser. This is just me, and I can provide the documentation so that people know. Like I said, I'll post my receipts. That tweet or whatever, when I blast it out, will go out to with the screenshots of that month's payout for my fucking AdSense, and then the fucking receipt, right? That's gotta be okay. I'm not out here fucking begging you guys for it. I'm not trying to portray myself like I'm a charitable organization. I'm just going to take the discretionary income that you guys already give to me because you support what I do, and tell you what I'm going to do with it. Tell you how much it is every month at the end of the month, and show you what I did with it. And encourage other leftists to do the same. Especially people in the bread tube sphere that were preaching direct action after Joe Biden, but the only direct action that a lot of them have taken is directly subverting their fucking values by supporting Biden and defending Biden against people who would try and fucking bully him and call him out for the bullshit that he's doing. Do you have any ideas for charities currently? I really want to get good at finding different regional local aid or mutual aid orgs, like trans charities in different states, homeless shelters, and food banks in different states and different regions that may need them more than others. City cleanup initiatives in places that really need it. So charitable organizations that spend their money cleaning up rundown inner city areas, public parks and stuff, and cleaning them up so that the people in those places can start using them. Black Lives Matter, sure, absolutely. Definitely some local, especially if there's like a big protest going on and people there need aid, absolutely, why not? Anything that's not directly affiliated with the DNC is on the table, as long as it's vettable. Like, I don't want to be given, that's why I like these local charities, because local food banks, you vet that by fucking just knowing they exist, right? You don't have to worry about it being some weird charitable organization where everybody's skimming all the money off the top. You get to see the output at places like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, you definitely got to vet these organizations for sure before you give money. But that's on me if I'm deciding the organization that I want to give to. You wouldn't be donating to that. You'd be donating to me, and I would be sharing with you what I use the discretionary income that you provide me with your donations with every month, and encouraging other streamers to do the same with as much of their discretionary donation income as they can. Consider this 4 and 8. Thanks. I'm down, Paul. Cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this sounds good. It's something I'm totally fucking 100% willing to do. Like I said, read the title, no promises. This is an idea, thinking out loud, throwing out an idea that I have that I may do, that I hope to do. Sounds like a good idea to me, and I'm willing to do, to make a little hay politically, make a little change locally and regionally and nationally and internationally if we choose. I think it has to be GoFundMe. You control it, but you won't need to have 3 different skims off the top from some type of service. At most, there's only 2 transaction fees. I don't know. That's cool, but why not do it as a service that doesn't take 30% like Patreon? Do it through a service that doesn't take 30% like Patreon. I don't think YouTube takes 30%. In fact, to be quite honest with you, I don't think YouTube takes anywhere near as big a cut as they used to of super chats. Like, super chats have become ubiquitous now, and so YouTube takes a skim of super chats. They used to take like 15, 20, I think, and now I think they take like 5% of every super chat or some shit. Like, most of that donation lands in my hands. So, and I take that discretionary income. I share with you guys every month how much it was, provide receipts, and show you what I donated to every month. Encourage other people in BreadTube and on the lefty sphere to do the same. Give you guys some information on, Highdeologies and in the tweets about the organization that I chose to donate to and why every month. Leftist influencers should collectively establish a website where people can directly donate to a vetted list of mutual aids and charities. I agree. Yeah, that would be a great thing to do. I can't do that. I'm not a website designer, but yeah, that would be a great thing to do. Whatever it is, guys, you guys got to understand, like, when you donate to me here, they're taking that from me anyway. So whatever's left at the end of them taking their lion's share, I'm not talking about running a one-off charity stream here and there. I'm talking about committing for like a year, from June to June. Every dollar I make in Super Chat, I'm going to pick a different fucking mutual aid organization every goddamn month, and I'm going to donate the money, and I'm going to share with you guys what I do with it and give you receipts. I'm not going to fucking solicit donations, because I don't do that anyway. You guys never hear me going like, give some money, give some money, give some money. Like, people throw me $5, I always say thank you. I try and read their fucking comment and yada yada. So when I do these streams and I put my time into it, at the end of the month, I get a payout. And what I want to do with that money is my fucking business, right? So, but the commitment will be public and backed by monthly fucking reports on what charity got what money this month. That's all, right? See, this is the only thing about this idea is I've got to clear it through my fucking accountant and make sure it's all on the up and up and shit. Like, I don't think there's anything illegal about disclosing charitable donations and the amount that you gave. I see people doing it on Twitter all the goddamn time. What if BreadTube doesn't align so strictly to the no DNC affiliation rule? Not saying you shouldn't do it. It's their discretionary income. They can do with it as they please. At least they'll be doing something, right? Some kind of direct action of some kind, like they promised they would after they got Biden elected, after this cycle, right? I can't fucking gatekeep who they give their money to. I think if they throw their money at the DNC, I mean, I'm gonna be very fucking boisterous about the fact that the DNC doesn't see a dime of my motherfucking money. I decide to give this money every month, and I make a concerted fucking decision to not give it to a DNC candidate of any stripe, no matter what they're promising. I give it directly to mutual aid orgs and local places that I can vet, that I know are putting that money into the hands and mouths and over the heads of the people that need those things. I've always thought it would be awesome if these massive leftist streamers pooled money together and turned some big McDonald's franchise into a co-op. Well, dude, I don't make anywhere near that kind of money. But yeah, it'd be cool. I don't know that I'd want to be a part of it, but it'd be cool if some of these richer guys would get together and do that shit. But as for this, kicking the can around on this idea, I don't know how much more I have to say about it personally, unless you guys have got questions. Like, once again, please read the title. Don't fucking slap me in the face if it doesn't work out this way and I got to come up with some other way to do this, all right? Would you release personal tax forms each year too? I don't know, man. I'd have to fucking think about that shit. Like, I have no problem doing it, like showing people my charitable donations on the tax form, because that's what you're talking about, right? That for proof that I'm actually doing what I've said, right? So here's Paul's fucking income statement, and here's his itemized fucking charitable donations from his taxes, right? That's why you would ask such a thing. I really don't have a problem with that. I don't know how I would go about doing that in the proper way so as to not like expose myself to this, that, or the other fucking thing. But yeah, I would have no problem like at least considering how to do that properly with you guys. Like, I don't know if I can post a redacted or an amended fucking tax form or something that shows my charitable donations. I know you trust me, but other people don't, right? And so I want to preclude any bullshit. I don't want anybody making the Paul's a grifter fucking videos and undermining what I'm doing. I don't want there to be any bullshit, right? Because I'm not that kind of person. I don't want that associated with my name, my brand, my friends, or anything else. I don't do that shit. I don't grift people. I make a commitment to do something, I'll do it. The best of my ability, I carry that shit out. I feel too many people will try and exploit the situation. Any ideas on a name, or is it just hashtag no confidence? I mean, I don't know, man. The no confidence movement, I really don't know. Like, we're not even doing a movement yet, so we're not even at that point. But yeah, no confidence seems like the name. It really encompasses the fucking idea, right? The idea of casting a vote of no confidence in the duopoly. So like, I just want to know, like, what kind of fucking like documentation would be required so that I preclude any of these motherfuckers calling me a grifter, calling me a liar, or saying like, there's absolutely no proof that these donations go to the things he says it goes to. There's just a dog. You could doctor these screenshots. You could, like I want to try and do my best. I mean, I know some people will say that no matter what you fucking do, but you know what I mean? To be on the front face of this, because I want other people to take it as a challenge to do so themselves and maybe cause a little fucking change. Maybe that's some people that can give more money than I can afford to give, jump on the fucking wagon and do it. Some charities might not want to be associated with any political motivations. It's a personal donation. I'm not making the donation in the name of anything other than my personal name. When I make these tweets, I'm not going to cover it in my political leanings. I'm going to say, hey, due to the kind donations of my Highdeology followers, this month's donation is below. This month I picked such and such charity. You can find them at whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Here's a little bit about what they're about in the thread below. I write a little bit about why I chose the charity. Provide whatever links to my fucking receipts that people would require to make sure that, you know, it's precluded that I didn't fucking just steal this money and I'm not taking people's goodwill and turning it into personal gain. And then I put out the fucking challenge. Won't you join me? Like, won't you join me in doing this? Lefty streamers, bread tube streamers, even if you don't agree with me, won't you join me in doing this? Pick a regional mutual aid org. Give your discretionary income to them for a year. Choose an amount, make a commitment, provide receipts, and let's all do this together. Let's take a little direct action that's not electoralism, whether you agree with my stance on it or not. Doesn't Vosh not like you? I don't know if he likes me or not. I really don't care. I don't think a lot of people like me. And I think that's a good thing. I think this idea within the little microcosm that I can reach, which is our community and the little community that I have here, this idea that happened yesterday on a fucking Highdeology and has now started to take shape in my mind has made fucking like tidal waves in this community. Go check out the subreddit and look at the fucking giant threads, people bickering back and forth and arguing about this. This is making people think. It's making people hone their own arguments for or against what I'm doing. This has gotten under the skin of people who agree with me and people who disagree with me in a really fucking good way. It's invigorated this community. Go look at the fucking last video that we did on the DFF channel, where TJ and I go at each other for an hour and change on this issue. Go look at the fucking engagement on that video versus a normal DFF video and tell me we're like, this idea is not on to anything. Some people are pulling their hair out. Some people are fucking scratching their heads. Some people seem confused about what my intentions are. It's really invigorated the fucking political arm of this community. Some of them against me, some of them for me, but arguments are being made. Little ripples in this community that's went back to brunch again. You see, this to me is proof of life for this concept. Not necessarily proof of ultimate success, but really, you know me, I don't think ultimate success is achievable. How about easing the pain as we go? Right? How about not participating in politics with cynicism? How about not cynically doing it and cynically advocating for it, but just using it to make hay for views? How about going to the voting booth as an act of protest? Hey, baby. How about publicly starving the DNC and making your own donations? You know? And being boisterous about doing it and tagging people who don't. Like, let's make some hay in this little community. I don't have reach outside of it. Let's do it. Let's do it in a way that confuses the fuck out of my detractors, which is this. Okay, you wanted me to vote? I do. I will. I'll vote down ballot. I'll vote local. I'm leaving the rest of it blank. Might not be smart to do what I said initially and write in big bold letters on your fucking ballot because I get your ballot thrown out. But if you choose not to vote, you have every right to leave those fucking bubbles unfilled. And that's what I plan on doing and advocating for people to do going forward.
How do you feel about, like, voting third party essentially being the same as no confidence, just to reduce the risk of ballots being thrown out?
I mean, I guess I don't have a problem with it. The problem is that oftentimes these third-party movements are co-opted into the DNC. And so my fear would be that we pour all our fucking, time and money into a grassroots.
I'm not saying pouring money into it at all. I'm just saying putting a vote in for a
Right.
registered third party
For like a
person
green.
instead of writing in no confidence
Sure.
and risking your ballot.
Well, I can't
thrown
look
out.
over people's shoulder, so I'm just saying starve the fucking DNC of a vote.
Yeah.
So if you know that you've got a third-party candidate that you believe in or whatever, that you would rather bubble in rather than just leaving it blank, then I'm not going to stand over your shoulder and tell you not to do that, nor argue against your participation for doing it. As long as you're starving the Democratic National Committee of a vote and any donations, you're on my fucking page. You want to vote for Joe Jorgensen, or you want to vote for a fucking Green or a fucking whatever, go for it. You know what I mean? That's your right. I'm not going to fucking, like, everybody always wanted to tell me how to vote. When I was open and honest about my choice not to vote, I get told how to vote. And now that I'm doing this, the same people that told me, oh, you just don't want to participate. Now that I've made the fucking commitment to participate, they're pissed off at how I fucking committed to participate. So I'm not going to gatekeep any of you. But when it comes to this movement, the operative idea is, if you're committed to it, you're flying the flag of no confidence, you don't support the DNC. You don't vote for the DNC candidate no matter what sweet nothings they whisper in your ear, and you make hay about it. You're willing to stand on your ground, but you go and you vote. You do your civic duty. Don't let them fucking call you on that. Vote down ballot. Vote state level initiatives that you think are important. And if you want, if it does your conscience good when you go into the voting booth to bubble in a Green Party candidate or a fucking whatever candidate, I'm not standing there with you. I ain't going to stop you. And I'm not going to look to you as a traitor either for doing that. If that's what you want to do it. You're good with me as long as you don't walk into that booth after claiming that you're not gonna and bubble in a Democrat. That, to me, would be a shitty thing to fucking do. But once again, how the fuck am I going to know? I'm just telling everybody what I plan to do. I plan to leave that ballot blank except for the initiatives. I'll vote for initiatives. I will not vote for a candidate. That'll be that. That's my choice. So that's it, man. I don't care how we get there. You want to fucking, yeah. You want to vote third party? Go for it. I'm not going to be advocating for any third party candidacies, but if that's where your fucking conscience is at, who's going to stop you? You should be doing it anyway. Paul, not trying to tell you what to do. He's just telling you what's what. You can do with that, whatever. Right. I'm just talking about what the idea behind this hashtag no confidence thing that I'm pushing is. I am being open and honest about my participation in the electoral system. From here on out, I will vote no confidence in every election. Now, that's not allowed. We don't get a no confidence vote. So my vote of no confidence will be abstaining from voting from any DNC candidate, no matter what they promise, no matter how fucking important their race is made to be in the news media or by the DNC. No more. No more support. No more being badgered into electing people that do nothing for us. that money and time instead, I have laid out at the beginning towards this stream an idea that I have about making a commitment to doing some mutual aid. That's kind of, has a lot to do with what I do here on Highdeology. Taking the discretionary income that I'm given very kindly by you guys, and instead of just sitting on it like I normally do, making a commitment for a certain amount of time, whatever it is, 6 months, a year, from here to here, every dollar I make, I'm gonna give to, whatever. Or not even announcing it like that, just be like, so at the end of this month, here's how much money that I made from kind donations on my streams, and here's the charity that I've chosen to donate to. And here's the receipt showing that I made the donation in that amount. Thank you to everybody who watched my streams this month, and stay tuned next month to find out which charity I choose next. Then it's just me using my discretionary income, right? You guys can't, you guys can give me $5. You can't stand over my shoulder and make me buy a burrito with it, right? So it's not like I'm running a fucking charity or anything. I'm just telling you what I plan to do with my fucking discretionary income. Now, once again, like I told you guys in the title of this stream and shit, I have to clear this with my fucking accountant and make sure I'm right about the rules of charitable donations and all that shit. But I see no reason not to do this. As long as it's on the up and up. No, I at the beginning I was thinking about, oh yeah, we'll all vote on mutual aid. No, this is my income. I'm gonna decide what I donate to. I'm gonna vet a charity every month, and I'll let you guys know at the end of the goddamn month. Like once again, should this be on the up and up and everything? I'll announce to you guys when I'm actually starting this, if it's a feasible thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it wouldn't be on the up and up. I just meant like if you did want to use it as a tax thing, then you'd have to.
Well, no, of course, yeah. I mean, of course, you use it as a tax write-off. You make a charitable donation. So, yeah, I don't know. So, I like the idea. It seems like you guys like the idea. Fair enough, I guess. I'll look into it and I'll let you guys know what happens with it, Pretty cool, though. It'll be nice to get like a base level involvement in things again. I've been cooped up, like not just cooped up, but just like cooped up politically and as an activist. And I've been doing a lot of talking, which is important. Making the argument is important, but it'll feel nice to, do a little something that isn't destroying the world, but maybe making a little tiny corner of it slightly better for somebody. Good shit. You deserve more political donations than most politicians. Most local politicians need it more than you. Huh?
It sounded like a contradictory.
Yeah, that was a weird, like, backwards, forwards, push me, pull you sentence. I would rather an office remain vacant than someone I don't like holding it. That's the second trolly weird thing that I've seen you doing, so I'm gonna go ahead and dunk you. The first time I saw you tonight, you asked about like what had happened since DP. And then that one was just rubbed me the wrong way too, so I don't know if Otello is in here, but make sure you catch the disclaimer the next time Otello drops by. And asbestos fingers as well. He's got one as well. +18 stream, no trolling, no bullshit, no derailing topics, etc. You either participate like an adult, or you can lurk or get the fuck out. So anyway, that's the idea, guys. I ran it by you. You guys seem to be generally positive about it, so that makes me feel pretty good. I'm gonna look into it, and I'll share you guys, with you guys what I can do and how I can work it out and what's right for me to do and how to do it right, how to word it right, so that I'm not, whatever. And start making a little bit of fucking hay with this and make a little difference too. I would absolutely donate to some animal stuff. In fact, I've got a couple of charities in mind, one of which that I worked with before. It's a great local charity called Animal Rescue Fresno, back near my old home stomping grounds. I used to donate time and money to them every year, and they're a great no-kill shelter at a place where there's lots and lots of stray dogs. So absolutely we'll be doing some animal charities. Like, I'm going to select a cornucopia of different things that are completely politically unaffiliated. I want to find some trans mutual aid orgs here, organizations in various cities and regions that set up shelters and provide counseling for trans and non-binary people. Just get a cornucopia. I mean, whatever. I like the idea. I just don't think you should constrain donations purely to charities. Sponsor a local artist. Sponsor kids whose parents can't pay for their sports league fees. I mean,
I feel like individual donations get kind of murky.
they really do. Like like the idea is to vet a charity so that you can give money to a group of professionals who are committed to making sure that the maximum amount of that money goes right to what, because like dropping money on a situation is often not the fix, even if it looks like it. For example, you see a homeless person standing on the street begging for money. You give them a 20 spot out of the goodness of your heart, thinking they're going to go get a fucking, nice hot meal with it, and maybe even a couple hours in a fucking shelter or some shit. And they go and they buy crack or they buy alcohol with it and they get fucked up on it. And what you've done is functionally enabled them to stay there on the street for longer, right? So the idea of a charity, so if you want to help homeless people, you don't give money directly to homeless people. You give money to a vetted charity that helps with the homeless so that they can make sure that the money is spent on not crack, on food and clothing and jackets and soup and shelter.
These people also, they help them fill out applications for Social Security income and stuff.
Legal aid, like job aid.
Giving someone on the street a 20 isn't going to walk them to the Social Security office and get them their shit.
A lot of these organizations help people that are on the streets find drug treatment. And get their IDs, that type of shit. See, this is what I'm talking about. You can't do that. You can't grab a single homeless person off the street and go, let me clean up your life for you. You're not an expert in that. You trust me, you don't have the time, and you're probably not going to be successful. So you give it to a group of professionals. They take a little salary off at the top of your donation, but that salary supports the rest of that money from that donation going to the people that need it in a way that you can fucking verify. Right? It's not just throwing money at a problem. So I disagree that it shouldn't be through a charity. I'll be picking vetted charities, charitable organizations, and mutual aid organizations, thoroughly vetted. You can do with your discretionary income whatever you want. If you want to sponsor a local kid or give a big old fucking balloon payment to a local family and roll the dice on whether or not their dad drinks it up or takes it to Vegas and pisses it all away or actually spends it on the family, you do you. Mutual aid isn't charity. It's about people helping each other. Charity is a one-way interaction. Okay, well, fair enough, but you understand my point. There are organizations that run these types of things that are vetted, where you can follow your donation, right? So that's what I intend on doing.
Ranking sites and all this shit.
Absolutely. There are multiple ways you vet a charity. So that's what I plan to do. Find a group of charities and mutual aid organizations that I think sound like something that I want to do, and then I will be giving my discretionary income to them, should all this work out. And I'll share with you guys when and if it does. And I think that'll be a good step in the right direction. Trying to apply a little bit of fucking leverage to other people that do this, that make vastly more money than me, that make a lot of hay talking politics and talking direct action, but don't do a lot of direct action. In an ideal world, housing would be decommodified, but since that won't be happening anytime soon, this sounds like the best way to help right now. I mean, what else can you do? I can't donate to the future world of decommodified housing and abolished capital. You know what I mean? So I've got a few more years left on the planet, and I'll make some fucking money with what I do, and I can give a little bit of that here and there to this and that. I don't see a reason that that's a bad thing or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think it's going to save the fucking world, but it might ease a little bit of suffering in the interim during the decline while I'm here for it. And in the meantime,
and that's direct harm reduction.
Right. That's actual
harm reduction.
Right. That's actual traceable harm reduction. That's you taking your time, in this case, the time that I spend working doing this, and turning the money from that, or some of the money from that, into direct action. That money will directly end up in the belly of a homeless person, or directly end up facilitating somebody getting the help that they need for whatever reason, depending on the charity that I choose. For an animal charity, it will directly facilitate the continued housing and pulling of dogs from kill shelters to be housed for possibly life at a no-kill shelter, and the continued maintenance of the grounds as such. You can see the fruits of your labor in that, right? And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about putting your money where your mouth is. I'm not a rich man. If I was a rich man, I'd commit to doing a lot more than what I'm talking about here. But I talked about it with Amelia. That's what I can afford to fucking do. So, assuming all things are fucking straight, that's what I'll start doing. You know? I remember when I was in middle school, they did a drive to get wrestling shoes for the kids whose parents couldn't afford them. We all got fresh new shoes. I wish this was more common throughout schools. I don't remember anything about getting no goddamn shoes. So you lucked out. I didn't get no shoes. I still don't have any shoes. I'm barefooted right now. There may be a better way to fucking handle this. You know, like I said, this is a nascent idea in my head. This stream is titled the way it is for a very fucking honest reason, because I don't exactly know how this will work out or whether this is the best way to do this, but it's something I'm thinking about. It really puts a little bit of fucking pressure, and it puts a little bit of weight behind the movement. Look, if I'm willing to put my fucking money where my mouth is on this, what have you done becomes a lot better of a comeback, right? I don't mean to be cynical about it, but we live in a world where it's like people think that commenting on YouTube is doing something. People think that making a thread on Reddit is taking direct action. It isn't. And so it's like you gotta fucking make that definition happen. At some point, you gotta make the fucking definition of what direct action is and or isn't a reality in people's minds. Right? Now, unfortunately, like I'm fucking like physically not all that useful. Back in my early 30s and shit, I used to donate time at a food bank. Not all the time, but a couple, 3 times a year, I'd go to a food bank. I work all day there. And it was backbreaking work, but gratifying because you know the food that you were packing up was going out to families and weren't going to have anything to eat on a holiday, right? I don't know how useful I would be in shit like that, but finding ways that I could fucking help in other ways is something that I'm also interested in doing, along with Amelia. Finding something that we could do in our spare time where we donate not money, but time to an organization, whether it's an animal shelter or some kind of, just doing something direct, you know what I mean, in our community. And so that's something too that I encourage you guys to think about doing. I mean, this is not usually a very hopeful place for people to hang out in. It can be very dismal here because I don't pull punches talking about the future. I don't pull punches about the trajectory that we're on. And I don't pull punches about what I think our future is. But in the here and now, we can all do a little something. Maybe not all of us can do it. You just watching and participating with your voice is doing a little something. But maybe we can all do a little something else. And maybe as a result of that, somebody's life gets better for it. And what's the harm in that? You know what I mean? We can't all be Bill Gates. We can't all set up fucking giant charitable organizations that fund entire fucking water initiatives in Africa and shit. We can't do it. But there are already those organizations existent that are doing those things and that are starved for donations. So we can find those places, vet them, and put our labor to work. Give a little something of what we've done with our time to these places and to these people to make a little change locally for somebody, for a neighborhood, for a single homeless person, for a fucking group of homeless people, for a group of underprivileged kids that, are in school, for a group of migrant kids or ESL kids in school, right? Unless someone starts caring a whole awful lot, things are not going to get better. They're just not. Ham-fisted attempt at quoting Dr. Seuss there. Recently canceled Dr. Seuss. Nice crickets tonight. Froggies are getting kind of quieter, but the crickets. Maybe that's what's driving. Maybe that's what's driving Cricket crazy.
Oh, crickets.
He hears his brethren out there.
Well, he does like eating him a cricket.
Mm-hmm. He knows what they sound like, and he's like, "It's a buffet."
Yeah. He knows what they taste like.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not meowing right now.
He chilled out. He usually does. How soon do you think this will be operational if you choose to go through with it? Couple months. I'd say that's fair. Yeah. That'll give me time to fucking suss out the details of it and refine the edges of it and shit. So yeah, I'd say that. I don't want to give anybody the fucking impression that that this is starting tonight or whatever the fuck. I brought this to you guys as an idea, right? So I'll keep you guys updated on it. Live again. Yes, I got your DM, Jamie. I just didn't get time to write you back yet. But fuck, dude, I don't know if I want to like. It's nothing that. Okay, so here's the problem, Jamie. Oh fuck, I don't even know how to put this. Like, look, I don't have any beef with Animancer, but by the same token, he and I have a history that's not altogether great. And we didn't, we've been cordial to one another. He pops into my chat sometimes, and I don't fuck on him, and I don't got no ill will, but by the same token, like, I don't necessarily agree with how he conducted himself when I worked with them and while I was involved with them, in the capacity that I was, which was he was a community manager and shit for DP. And I don't like the way he conducted himself. And there's some shit that he did while he was in my employ that I found out about afterwards. Well, not in my employ, but in the company's employ at that time that I don't like, dude. And so I don't know what to do with that. Like, he's not a guy that I fucking outright avoid. I don't want to make a pariah out of the dude, but I've had bad fucking experiences with him. And I don't know that I necessarily want to go like signal boost his show or whatever. And I don't want to deny you views because of that, because you've never done wrong by me and I got no reason to suss you out. But by the same token, how do I reconcile that? You know what I mean? Because, like, once again, I got no bad blood to the guy. It's not like I'm carrying around a grudge or anything. But once people do me dirty, like, they may change, but I don't give them a chance to do me dirty again,
I don't know why Jamie's not just wanting you on her stream.
I mean, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine to go on Jamie's stream and shit and whatever. Like, but
you just don't want this Animancer shit.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, it's been drama in the past for me, and I just don't want no part of that. So I'm happy to come on your show, but I don't think I can do the Underhaven shit. Tis what it is. Dad? Dad? You're about to get banned, Jeffrey. I'm just warning you. 420 stoner comedy. Was that an accident? I don't think so. Like, just start fucking nuking these fucks.
Yeah, I haven't seen a real comment from them in a while.
I haven't seen a real comment, period, in the chat in a minute, other than from my fucking mods. Why are you talking about boycotts? When did I mention boycotting anything? Are you talking about boycotting the DNC? I'm not calling for a boycott of the DNC. I'm calling for a vote of no confidence in the DNC and a separation of leftists from the DNC, which is not a leftist organization by any stripe, if it ever was. Certainly isn't now. So I'm not advocating that you stop buying Campbell's soup because they said something you didn't like. I'm advocating cutting off an entire arm of the political establishment because it no longer represents you. That's not a boycott. Would I vote for Justice Dems like Bernie Sanders or AOC? Would their campaigns be funded and managed by the Democratic National Committee? Or would the Justice Dems be running as third-party candidates unaffiliated with the DNC? Because as I understand, the Justice Dems is a movement to get progressive candidates elected under the banner of the DNC. And if that's the case, then the answer is no. I will never, ever, 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 ever again cast a vote for a fucking DNC candidate. Yeah, off-topic shit is just going to get banned. That's it. Your final warning just went up in the chat. If you can't carry on a conversation and you want to have a conversation with somebody else, take it to the fucking DMs. We're having a fucking conversation here. AOC and Bernie went out really sad in the last year or so. Yeah, no shit. Hence my fucking stand. I will not fucking vote for these people. Nope, nope, nope. All right, well, chat has turned into an unreadable bitching fest, so I'll let you guys go for the night. Thanks for chilling. I'll see you next time. Bye.